Neutrogena. Great hydration that goes deep.
Yeah, smooth line. You want to take this one?
Sure. What's going on here, buddy?
I'm becoming a kung fu master.
Huh.
We have the fastest wireless speeds, right?
Yeah, we've got spectrum.
Well, I used to absorb hundreds of years of kung fu knowledge in like 20 minutes.
Broke another nail. All right. I'm not even going to read a script today or anything that I've wrote down or whatever. I'm going to talk from the heart. I mean, there's a lot going on. A lot. The first thing is we have got to get this.
What was it like when Trump got elected? What was his reaction?
I don't know. Oligarchy out of the White House.
President Trump's first 100 days, Alex Wagner travels to the storm to talk with people most impacted by the
and Elon Musk. I mean, there's just so much going on. So many people being fired. I mean, this is it's terrible.
Follow her podcast with Alex Wagner.
And tomorrow night, we're looking at the government shutting down. And in a way, it might be a good thing. That way, they can't go in and dismantle everything. And Americans are standing up. Earlier today, protesters at Trump Tower, which they were arrested because they were in Trump's lobby, which I didn't see that they were causing any trouble, but they were protesting. So I guess you're not allowed to protest now. This is terrible. The American people, he promised that inflation would go down on day one. He promised. And now the cost of eggs are way up there. I mean, you go to the grocery store and what you used to get for like $40, you can't do that anymore. You do well to get a bag for $40. And he just keeps on and on and on and on with these tariffs, pushing Americans. It's on the news constantly. And then we have to worry about the Social Security. We have to worry about the veterans' pay. We have to worry about the free lunches for the children. It's just, it's so sad and inhumane. I mean, just because you lost in 2020 doesn't give you the right to come in and dismantle the government. It's been this way forever, and you have no right to dismantle the government. And I think it's sad that you're letting Doge come in and do this. You promised that Social Security wouldn't be cut, but then you also promised that Medicaid wouldn't be touched. And now we hear that $800 billion has got to come from somewhere. So, what's the truth?
Starting on day one of my new administration, we will end inflation and we will make America.
There you hear it. Starting on day one, and we will end inflation. And it was a lie. It was a lie to get into the White House to destroy the government. The Democrats are fighting back. They're speaking out, doing everything possibly they can do. I'm a Democrat. And I've been speaking out. But how far can that go? If you don't try, you'll never know. But if you try, at least you've tried and you fought and you tried hard. And then you've got Elon Musk or President Trump making a car lot out of the White House. Now, have you ever seen that from any president before? Have you ever seen that? I haven't. I'm not ashamed to say I'm 49 years old and I've never seen nothing like that. And I've never seen a president come in and dismantle the government like he has. And then you talk about immigration. I mean, to me, you're so racist. And you treat people with such disrespect. What did the American people ever do to you for you to treat them this way? Nothing. Worked, came home, took care of our children. Our children went to school. And then we started that day all over again. That's all the American people did. And you're holding that against them? It's sad. It's sad the way the government, the American people are being treated by the president. And you could say 70% of Americans really care and are for you, Donald Trump. That's a lie. You see all kinds of Americans out here protesting. You see Republican states where Bernie Sanders is going into Republican states and he is talking to the Republicans, which you all say that Democrats have kind of taken over. It's not. It's Republicans. And then you've got Republicans that's scared to go to their own hometown and face their constituents. There is something really wrong with that scenario. You are supposed to protect and serve your constituents. You are supposed to think of them before anything. But no, you're out busy kissing Donald Trump's rump and doing things that are not right. You're trying to pass every bill that he sends through, which thank goodness that we have judges that still care about democracy. That's one good thing. If some of these judges didn't care about democracy, then he would get every bill passed. So, like I said, there's just so much going on. And I heard earlier where they were going to have to hire a lot of the federal employees that they fired. They're going to have to hire them back because Doge didn't do what they were supposed to do. And they're going to hire them back. I know that's going to make Donald Trump upset and mad. So Americans, when's enough? When are you going to stand up and say, hey, yes, I voted, but I voted for the wrong person. And I wish I hadn't. I know I didn't vote for him because I already knew what he was after. I already knew that he had already lied about the 2020 election and already said that he was wrongfully, not put in, that the election was rigged. And that was all a lie. It was a hoax. And it was all done for him to come and throw this 2025 in everybody's face, which a lot of that's been thrown out. And then you have, like I said, free lunches. What do these children ever do? There's children that come to school that barely eat anyway. And that's their one meal a day that they get. And you're going to take that away from them? The Board of Education is to help children that go to school. What did they do wrong?
last time we tried
And
this
why
guy,
would you
like,
put
we lost
a pedophile,
lot of jobs.
Yes,
and I'm speaking
that was foreseeable then.
now,
It was foreseeable
or
again
someone
this
that
time because there are
had
damage to
trafficked
jobs
children,
that are dependent
her
on
and her husband,
consumption
why would you
of
put them
steel.
in the Board of Education
Then there are
around
jobs
children,
dependent
first
on
of all?
production of steel. Automakers, appliance makers, all sorts of other manufacturing firms.
You know,
which Trump also claims
it's
to
either
support.
TV show host,
Case scenario for
wrestlers.
the best possible outcome, and
I wonder if there's other
100%
wrestling
skeptic-
match.
skeptic, is that
I bet you I won't
sure,
watch wrestling
we
anymore
more for foreign products, but
after what I've
maybe
seen.
we increase some
Because I've never in my life ever
manufacturing
thought that they would put
jobs.
wrestlers into the White House. I'm sorry. But that's all for show and games anyway. Okay. First of all. And also the Fox propaganda, whatever, all those people that are in the White House now that came from Fox. It's just crazy. Like I said, you are doing so much wrong and not enough good. You're not helping the American people. You're not giving them what you promised, which is inflation down, so people can live, so they can be able to go in the store and buy what they needed and not have to worry about not having enough money. And now you threaten to take Social Security, really? A lot of these people live off this. This is their government. This is the only thing they have for income. I know that you're rich and Elon's rich, so I mean, you don't have to worry about going out and buying everyday things like eggs and bread and stuff like that for your family. You get your stuff catered in, so you don't have to worry about everyday living like we do. But American people do. We get out and people work hard for what they have. We don't get a silver spoon handed down to our mouth and be able to afford anything in the world we want. We have to live and maintain and improvise and save to have anything in life that we want. But not you. You got a silver spoon handed down, so you don't have to do anything but have it catered in or call on the phone and say, hey, bring it to me. That's the part about being rich. But not the American people. American people strive every day just to have an everyday living. You don't know what it's like to go in and want to buy eggs and bread and stuff like that. I bet you've never been in the grocery store. You might have had somebody sent to the grocery store, but I bet you've never been there. Because ever since you were little, you had a silver spoon handed down to you. So you can't imagine how the American people are feeling. You or Elon, either one. The American people are mad. They're angry. And they're tired of the BS that you keep forking out. But enough is enough. And I'm glad the American people are standing up. And I'm glad they're speaking out because they have every right to. Because they're losing everything that they have to survive in life. Like I said, it's an everyday living. But, of course, you wouldn't know anything about that. There's no sense of telling you because you wouldn't know anyway. You spew lie after lie, and you never say anything with true meaning.
How many times do we have to explain that the privileged few will be protected at the expense of the many?
It's sad that you're the president. It's sad that you've got Doge in there dismantling everything in the government, everything of our democracy. And yes, the Congress is the power of the purse, which I know you're trying to take away from them. It's been that way since I was little and before that. So why change it now? Why would you want to change it? Unless you're doing something corrupt and you're trying to get away with it. Just like firing the generals and the watchdogs. I mean, why would you fire them? Unless you're doing something corrupt and you don't want to get caught doing it. You would not fire the people that actually control the waste, fraud, and abuse. That's the people that look out for that.
And by the way, Reagan ended that by saying that he remembers the 1930s.
But of course, you can spew out anything you want. But why not tell the American people the truth? Why not tell them what you really plan on doing? With an $800 million tax cut to the billionaires. Why not tell them that it's going to go to the rich, not the poor people, not the middle class. It's going to go to the rich. Why not tell the American people the truth? Well, I keep saying lie after lie after lie because the same old story's getting old. It's time to start a new chapter. And I don't think this chapter needs to involve you. American people need to start a chapter and say everything that you're doing wrong and what you're doing to people and how you're hurting innocent people. Like I said, you don't know what it's like for an everyday living. Or take your children to school, to go to work, cook supper, and you start it all over again every single day. No. Yeah, you can sit in the White House, but after that, you can go on your vacations. You're rich, you have money. But American people don't. They survive. And yes, they survive from what the government gives them. But they live day to day.
Florida, they go off, the accumulated wealth that they've done in the last 10 years are going to be all excited about.
So I'm glad the American people are speaking out. I'm glad they're actually fighting back. And then you can change that 70%, because there's no way you got 70% of Americans that really like you now and care about what you're doing. There's no way. So if they shut the government down, guess what? Maybe that'll keep Elon now from dismantling the government. Jamie Raskin, Chris Murphy, Bernie Sanders, all the Democrats, to you, I say you're doing an awesome job fighting back.
I think nostalgia is very powerful. Listen, I have nostalgia for the news business of 10 years ago, let alone 20 years ago. It's changed. It's changed a lot of our industry. It's contracting. It's hard.
Bernie Sanders, you've got a lot of rallies going on.
It's great for them. How do we get to
and a lot of them are Republicans. They're not all Democrat. Because you're hurting the American people too. They're Republicans and Democrats. And there's some that's neither one. But you're still hurting the American people. And I don't even know if we'll ever be able to go back to what you dismantled. But I think that being able to hire the federal workers back, that's a plus. Because you fired these people illegally.
You need to give them various kinds of safety net support and training and other opportunities, and being honest about that.
So I'm angry. And I'm speaking out. Because I see what you're doing, and I watch the news.
We're not always so great. I mean, a lot of these jobs in manufacturing and in coal mining led to a lot of physical health.
But these veterans served the country. And a lot of them has died. And then you take and close the veteran building down. That's wrong. These people fought for our country. They need medals. They should get everything in life handed down to them. Because without them, a lot of people wouldn't be here right now. But of course, you don't think that way, Why should you? Hey, I'm rich and powerful. Why should I care?
With the Secretary General of NATO after suggesting
What was it you said about veterans anyway?
And what Democrats are threatening with just 48 hours
That they were.
government shutdown. Plus, it's Trump's treatment of a Palestinian
There you go.
protester, the beginning of the end of
I don't even have to say it because American people already know what you did.
Some people are arguing that isn't realistic.
But this is all over because you didn't win the 2020 election. And you want to talk about Joe Biden? Joe Biden is more of a man than you'll ever be. This country was doing just fine until you entered the White House. But that man loved his country, and he handed it over for Kamala to run, which I think she would have been 100 times better than you ever thought about. But it all boils down to this. People have to have these funds from the government to be able to live and survive. And for you to sit and say, I'm not going to take this and I'm not going to take that. But yeah, that's all you hear. And Elon hollering, oh, Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. That's because he wants to dismantle it. But yet they'll lie to you for something bigger that's coming down that they don't want you to know about. Just like the Ukraine, the way he treated the Ukraine in the office, Zelensky.
As European leaders plan for a future
That was horrible.
without the United States as a reliable partner both economically and militarily.
I even said I'm sorry. American people are not like that. And we're not. We care about our families, our friends, and our loved ones. And you care about no one. You care about yourself. I want to be dictator. You want to be right beside a Putin, and that's where you want to be. We don't want it to be like Putin.
What does it say about Donald Trump's commitment?
It's horrible the way he treats his people.
I don't think it says all that much. Look, as we
It's supposed to be the America of the free and the home of the brave.
That one had some potential because
And now
Trump has a history.
You can get in trouble for freedom of speech or protesting
The NATO alliance, the concept of NATO,
because you want to speak your mind.
NATO essentially mooches from the United States, and its members don't pay enough for their own collective defense. And
I'm tired. I'm aggravated, and I'm hurt for these veterans and these federal workers. And it's just sad. It's sad that you want to put people through this.
I just think that we don't really
For Elon all to say, oh, Social Security's a Ponzi scheme. It's because you're rich. You don't care nothing about nobody but yourself. You and Trump. You're acting more like the vice president than J.D. Vance. How about that?
One of the analysts in Foreign Policy magazine argues that Donald Trump is going to be steadfast for NATO. Looking back to the first administration, there was a lot of.
I sure don't know what this government's going to become, but I do hope they shut the government down because it's going to keep you from doing what you want to do.
23 countries now contribute 2% of their GDP.
And I see days
and this writer argues that Donald
that
Trump is doing the same thing now.
it ain't going to be long till you're going to try to demand or dismantle Social Security.
The way to do that.
It's like you're trying to take away Medicaid.
Yeah, some do. I mean, I was struck in the weeks before the election when it was becoming clear that Trump had at least a very good chance of winning.
talking to European diplomats.
So I want to
who
know.
were not, on this subject. Not
If you like my video, please like, share, and subscribe.
What I was hearing
It don't
was
cost you a thing to
you can leave
subscribe.
the alliance at the end of the day, and it will be tough. And people
And
are gonna
I'd
have
like
some
you to come
more
on and
say,
comment what you think about it.
At the end of the day, he won't leave the alliance. So, it's not a total shock.
Because there's got to be other people that care about this just as much as I do. They care about their government, that want what's best for their families.
Now, but as we've seen in so many ways, the guardrails have really kind of fallen off.
And why won't they release the Epstein files?
Not willing to do in his first term.
That wouldn't be because Trump might be on it, right?
Last point, I would say yes, you do have to give him credit, and I think even you do hear national security.
He was with Epstein.
His
I think it was 2005 or 2006. Whenever he even said that Trump likes women, but he likes them a little younger. Yeah, a little younger. You get where I'm coming from with that. That's sick. But as many times as you rode in that jet plane with him, you can't tell me that you did nothing.
Richard, the other big story is obviously this peace deal.
Yes, I think you did.
Americans has now gone over to
And I think you were going to the extreme to hide it,
stands there, and what does it mean?
so it never hits the light of day. Because if there was nothing in it, why wouldn't you release them? Oh, they had this big show of where they come running out. Oh, the Epstein files, the Epstein files. But it was all hoax.
No one in Europe wants to be in the position that Ukraine is in right now.
They might fool you, but they won't fool me. I learned from a wise old woman.
And instead, they're getting pressure, they're getting humiliated
And I know.
in the Oval Office. So European
I know how people act, sneaky and like they can get away with anything. You're not above the law. You might have immunity right now, but you're not above the law.
Right now is, as you know, President Trump put forward this.
Looks like some of the Supreme Court judges went against Trump. Way to go. Somebody has to fight against him.
Was humiliated in the Oval Office by President Trump and Vice President Vance. Not surprisingly, quickly, Ukraine changed its tune, and President Zelensky accepted the deal unconditionally and has every day been saying how he backs this deal and he
So
has
America,
no problem with it, and he's ready to lay down the guns in the
when
air
is
and
enough
sea
enough?
and on land today. If Russia does
Always
the same. I
heard
was out with Ukrainian troops today, and they told me
enough
the same
is
thing.
enough,
They're ready to stop
and
fighting.
too much is
They want to go back
nasty.
home and see their families and bring their wives and children home from exile. A lot of Ukrainian families sent their children to.
Guys, I brought the house smelling with pumpkin pie. I made a pumpkin pie, and it smells so good, and I'm waiting for it to cool. Because I so want a pumpkin pie. But I just wanted to come on here, and I wanted to talk about everything that's going on.
But then he listed about a half dozen reasons
And
why he can't accept it right now, saying that
just want everybody to stand up
to Russian troops, that they're making advances on the battlefield,
and talk about it.
would allow Ukraine to rearm.
Come on my channel. I'll have you up.
Trump seemed to accept that
Tell me how you feel.
as a starting point.
What you're losing.
Heard encouraging signs from
What you tend to lose if all these programs shut down.
Thank you very much. Coming up, what Senate Democrats are planning.
I know how you
with the
feel.
government shutdown deadline less than 2 days away.
And it's not fair. And they should be honest about it instead of lying about it.
You gonna go back and see how the pyramids were built or something? Nope. Ellen and I want to go on vacation.
So Democrats, I say close it. Shut it down.
Only room for one. Oh, Mike, I didn't come.
Keep them from tearing up what little of democracy we have left.
Or you could try one of these savings options.
And I just want to say,
There it is. See? I was just gonna all
you
work
can be
out.
racist all you want to.
Honestly, I
I was scared.
But remember this.
When I was told age-related macular degeneration could
Jesus
jeopardize
loves
vision.
Great.
the little children of the world. Red and yellow, black or white. They are precious in His sight. Take that to the bank.
Thanks to Preservision, I feel better that I'm doing something about it, like millions of others.
Hope everyone has a blessed day. I'm the angry Democratic lady. Catch you later. Bye.
This is the Emirates Premium Economy Suite.